Hey everybody, welcome to episode 10. It's crazy that we made it to 10 weeks. I'm surprised myself that I made it this long. I really am excited about this. You all continue to drive me to continue to do more episodes, so I pretty much thank you for your support. Continue to share, continue to subscribe, continue to drop comments or reach out to me. I really appreciate it all. Like I always say, any questions or any tips that you have, feel free to drop a comment below, and I try to get to it in the next episode. I know this past week was great. It was a green week. Everybody saw a lot of success. Like I always say, when you make good money, definitely take some of those profits out. Set your stop losses. If you want to swing some things, or you just want to hold it to see if it could go higher. Definitely set your stop losses. That way, if the stock goes down, you have your stop loss set in place, and you're not losing too much money. So that's always a good thing about stop losses. And then the main thing, like I always say, take some of those profits out. If you invested 500 and now your stock has made it 100% or 200%, take that 500 you invested out, leave the house money in there, and that way if the stock goes down, it's cool. You only lose the house money. If it goes up, great. Now you're making money on top of money. But like I always say, definitely try to take some of those profits out. That way you're not seeing yourself lose too much or anything like that. Or if you do lose some, it's okay because you already taken some profits out. So that's a good thing about that. But like I always said, this week was amazing, with stimulus coming out, the bill being passed, things like that. The market was, thriving based off of that. So that was something that I was excited about this past week. Looking forward into this next week. I had somebody reach out to me regarding Bitcoin. Wanted me to go over stocks that's, pretty much sentiment plays to Bitcoin. When Bitcoin rises, what stock follows that trend with Bitcoin. So I will be touching on that on this episode. Episode is going to be pretty much short. I'm not going to dive too deep into the stocks, and pretty much I'm just going to, the top layer, focus on, what the stock is about, things like that. That way you all are not spending too much time watching me on this episode. But like I said, it was a great week. I enjoyed it. I was surprised how big, the market went up. I expected to go up, but I didn't expect to go up that much. So that was exciting. And like I said, I took some of my profits out. That way I'm not worrying about losing too much over the weekend. But like I always tell people, with stimulus coming out, looking to stimulus thriving, and driving the market even higher. I know some people have already received their stimulus check, so I'm looking into that new money diving into the market this week. That's something that I think is major because, over the last time when we received $1,200, I think Robinhood or somebody did a study on the amount of deposits, $1,200 deposits that was into people's investments accounts. And it was amazing. It was off the chart. So I think the same thing is going to happen here. I think when people get this $1,400, they're going to try to invest some of that money. And I see the market going up, 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 and up based off of that, based off volume, things like that. So that's something that I'm very looking forward to this week. Hearing that, people are getting the stimulus, I'm very excited about that. But one of the stocks I wanted to focus on as far as Bitcoin, is called Mara, M-A-R-A. Again, that's M-A-R-A. When I see Bitcoin rise over this past year, I've seen this stock do the same thing. Just looking back on Robinhood, I see it's risen $40.18 over this past year. That's amazing. Right now it's at $40.80. So it's a 70-cent stock at the beginning of the year versus now it's a $40.80 stock. So I think that's amazing when you look at that because, you could have bought one or two and easily made $80 or $90 in that case, so that's amazing when you look at that stock. I think they're going to continue to rise. I see when you look at Bitcoin pretty much did the same thing. It was on the lower end in the beginning of the year, and now it's all the way up, I believe, to like 61,000. I believe it touched over this weekend. So that's something major. That's something I was looking at this past Friday when I was looking at stocks to swing over the weekend, going into Monday of next week. I was looking at some of these stocks, and Mar was one of the ones that I chose to swing just based off of that. Which is good, because now the stock, Bitcoin went up. I believe this stock is going to pretty much follow that trend as well and go up this next week. So that's one of the stocks I wanted people to, start looking into, start doing research on. Like I always say, I think it follows Bitcoin myself, in my opinion. So if Bitcoin drops, then I believe this stock will continue to drop. If Bitcoin continues to rise, then I believe this stock will continue to rise. So that's something that I'm looking at, moving forward into next week. Definitely going to be one of those quick plays when I'm in and out because, just looking at the volatility of Bitcoin, I think this stock has the same type of trend line that Bitcoin has. So I don't really want to stay in it too long. That way, if it drops, I'm out of it. I made my profits and I'm good to go. So that's one of the stocks I want you all to check out. Again, that's MARA. Another one I believe is, follows the same line as MARA. I think the major difference is, which I don't know for sure as far as Riot, I don't know if they're into mining cryptocurrency. As far as MARA, they do mine cryptocurrency as well as has blockchain, which blockchain is major when it comes to cryptocurrency. So that's something that I focus on, blockchain companies, right? The cryptocurrency uses blockchain, so that as far as Bitcoin and things like cryptocurrency rising, then blockchain companies are going to rise as well. So Riot is another one, RIOT. Riot Blockchain is another company I saw over the year. Looking here on Robinhood right now, it rose $61 over this past year versus is $62 right now. So when you look at that, same type as Mora, same type of trend line, thing like that. It rises as far as Bitcoin rises, this stock rises. And that's another stock, as far as in the Bitcoin industry that I decided to swing over this weekend because I see it following those same trend lines. So I believe that's pretty much easy money because they're going to, do the same things that Bitcoin does. And Bitcoin rises over the weekend, then I can expect to see these two stocks right here rise as well. Like I said, the major difference, which I'm not 100% sure on, but I believe Riot doesn't mine cryptocurrency versus Mara does. But Riot does have blockchain. They're in the blockchain field. So I think Riot is just as well or just as good as Mara when it comes to rising with Bitcoin. So that's another one that I wanted you all to look at, check it out. I think they have great potential. You can even buy it outright if you like. But I think that's a good stock to look into as far as option plays, short term, get in, get out type of play. And then my final stock, I always give three. I want to talk about this stock because I think this stock is a good stock to buy outright versus buying options, but you can buy options as well. But me, myself, personally, like I'm saying, I think this stock I bought outright because I thought, it's cheap. You can buy a couple of thousand of it, right now when it's super cheap. And if it rises, that it has potential just like Riot and Mara has, then I think, you can see yourself going over the course of the year versus, playing with options. Like I always tell people, options is focused on time. So, if you don't make it to that time expiration, then you pretty much lost all your money versus with stocks, you own it outright. You don't have a time limit. You sit on it and wait for it to rise. So this stock that I think, is a major stock that I'm really focused on is SOS Limited. It's amazing. This past week, only risen 4 cents this past week. But when you look at it over the year, it's risen $5.83. And right now it's $6.52. So I think it's on that same trend line as Mara and Riot, just on a smaller scale. But looking at them as a holistic company, over the past 5 years, they actually down $59. So at one point in time, I believe back in 2017, this company was booming, $60 company. That's when it was first introduced back in 2017. It even got to, let me see here, up to almost $100 back in 2017. Now, do I expect them to do the same thing? No, it'd be great if they do. Of course, it'd be great for my portfolio if they do, but I don't expect them to get there. I have a price target that I set for myself. That you all, I would advise you all to definitely set a price target on any stock that you have. That way, once you reach that target, you get out, 100%, 75%, whatever, you get out and you take your profits. That way, you're not really sitting in a stock until it starts to drop because it can drop overnight a tremendous amount. So SOS, and then the company itself name is SOS Limited.